All right, let's go. What's going on, people? Daniel said, "Did Hillary Clinton see her shadow today?" I don't know. I guess that'll determine if we have 6 more weeks of winter. That Groundhog Day thing, is that what that is? Nah, but guys, I know I've been kind of MIA for the last week. I had family in town and I was a little bit under the weather. I don't know if it was allergies or a cold or what, but I shook it off and I'm good. I'm back to business. And we got a lot to get to today. So I'm waiting for some people to come in. I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit. That looks pretty good. And then also, I messed around with the settings on this microphone. So give me a one if you can hear me. I'm assuming everything's good because I double checked it, but I want to make sure. So if you can hear my voice, just give me a one in the comments. And then I want to talk about what's going on in Burma, Myanmar. You know what? I had to look that country up. The first thing that I heard when I first heard about that, I was like, let me get on the map and see if I can even find where that country is because I never heard of it before yesterday. Okay, we got a bunch of ones. Someone said loud and clear. Let me give some shout outs too. We got Denise, we got Greg, Daniel, Amy, Strove, we've got LD, we got Debbie, we got Sunny, Beverly, Gary, Samantha. Guys, make sure you give me a thumbs up too. Give me a like. Give me a like. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody tuned in today. All right, so let's get into it. So we've got a lot of things to talk about today. I want to talk about what's going on briefly. I just want to touch base on that. What's going on in Myanmar? I can't pronounce it. Myanmar, whatever. Myanmar, Burma, that country. Apparently, the military has taken over. They're calling it a coup d'etat. I can't really weigh in on if it's good or bad because I've only done minimal research, but it looks like the military did over there what everybody thought was going to happen here, which is kind of crazy, kind of ironic, right? So the military has locked down that country, taken control. They're under a national emergency for the next year. Nobody can travel in or out, which is kind of creepy. But apparently they have arrested all of the officials, the leader, the president. They've arrested a lot of the politicians over there, and they're citing the November election being rigged. And it's like, I already know what goes through everybody's mind when you hear that. A November election over there that was apparently rigged, and the military, put the country on lockdown. They're basically under martial law. There's a military general that's controlling everything. The media, of course, this is another reason why I can't just weigh in yet, because I don't know what to trust as far as news sources, right? Because of course you see the mainstream media headlines pop up, and of course those are going to be the main ones you see because they get forcefully put in front of you. They're saying it's a coup d'etat, democracy's in stake, and all this other stuff. But it's like, was the election rigged or wasn't it? I don't know. It's an interesting thing. But this woman, and I want to share the screen so you guys can see this. Hold on. This right here was crazy. Check this out. This woman right here is doing some kind of aerobics thing. Can y'all see that? I'm going to try to play it. This woman is doing aerobics while the coup d'etat is happening, while the military is locking everything down. This lady is just getting her workout in. I mean, can you really actually be mad at that? I mean, I don't know what's going through her head. I don't know if she knows what's going on, but she's got some moves, and apparently, like Anomaly says, she's too jacked for the gulag. I don't think she's too concerned about what's going on over there. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if she's just trying to, tune it out and just be good, or if they ended up getting her after that. I don't know. But guys, that was just pretty wild. So that's what's going on across the world. That's something that I'm going to be paying close attention to because, like I said, a lot of people thought that is exactly what was going to happen here. And I know there's still a handful of people that think Just you wait, Mike. March is coming. The storm. I really don't want to go back down that road. I feel like we've been there, done that. But it's an interesting thing that what everybody thought was going to happen here is exactly what happened over there. And we'll see how that's unfolding. I feel like it could be a situation where Biden decides to intervene. I mean, I'm so over these politicians with their nation building and interference in foreign, always just meddling in foreign affairs. I'm tired of it. Joshua says GOP establishment needs to die in 2021 and 2024. You don't mean die literally. I got to say that because, these algorithms might trip me up. They need to go away. They need to be voted out. We need to put them in retirement. Let's just go with that. But appreciate you for the super chat, my man. And let me take a sip of this water so I don't get dehydrated. I can't drink too much water because then I'll have to run to the restroom. But just enough to wet my whistle so I can keep on talking. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on with this freshman congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, now I know a lot of people. I guess she's kind of a polarizing figure, and I know some people don't like her. But I mean, she's a firebrand. She's disruptive. She's a thorn in the side of the establishment. I mean, Democrats don't like her. They're trying to get her removed from committees. Republicans are doing whatever they can to distance themselves. They're basically trying to write her off as a nut job, a conspiracy theorist, a radical, someone who does not belong in Congress. So they're trying to censure her. They're trying to do whatever they can to shut her up, basically, because she's been disruptive from the beginning. Now, I don't agree with a lot of what she says. I think that she is a little bit far out there, but at the same time, I'm not really mad at her because, I mean, she said some things that are, spot on accurate. I want to read just a few of her tweets because I follow her on Twitter now because, I mean, she's polarizing. She's interesting. She's outside of the norm. She thinks outside of the box. She has said some stuff, something about, the wildfires in California where laser beams, I think she's referring to directed energy weapons. And I mean, there's a lot of, there's a lot there that could be, investigated. I'll just say that because those fires were very suspicious. I don't want to get on a tangent with that, but the wildfires in California were very specific, very, interesting, looked a little bit too coincidental, where like aluminum alloys would melt down from the fire, but the trees around it would be standing. Like, how's a car burned to the metal, burns down to liquid, but the trees around it didn't? I don't know. So she said that, and then she also said something about how Parkland was a false flag or something like that. And then some about like aliens. I don't know. Just a few things that are kind of out there, but she's spot on when she talks about the establishment. So Mitch McConnell said that she is a cancer to the GOP. Mitch McConnell, of all people, talking about what's a cancer to the GOP, what's a cancer to the country. She said the real cancer of the Republican Party is weak Republicans who only know how to lose gracefully. This is why we are losing our country. What did she get wrong there? She didn't get anything wrong with that tweet. She said also, I'm the greatest threat to the Democrat mob and the activist media. They hate me because I represent your America First views. They think Trump is gone, so they attack you and me. He's not gone, and we won't back down, and we will never give up. We refuse to be canceled. So already she's hitting back. She's doing essentially what the squad did when they came in. Didn't they come in like a wrecking ball? AOC came in, was challenging Nancy Pelosi. She was kind of just, being disruptive. And that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene's doing. And she more closely aligns with Trump. Trump came in just the same way. Very loud, very disruptive. That's what we need as we have Biden back in the White House, or, we have the establishment back in the White House. They're trying to return everything back to the status quo with the wars, with the corruption, the shady deals. All of that is just back in place now that Biden is in office. So we need somebody to disrupt that status quo, push back, and be a thorn in their side. And she's the one doing it so far. I guess there's some other people too, but they're not as disruptive, or people have gotten used to people like Matt Gaetz. He's been in there for, I think, 2 years now. He'll be up for re-election here shortly, I think. But anyway, I think it's very interesting. It's fascinating that she's kind of at war with the establishment GOP. And of course, the media loves her. The media wants to prop her up and use her as a straw man and say, look, all Republicans represent this. It's because they see Trump in her. They see Trump in her and they don't like it. They don't like what she says. She tells the truth. She talks about the corruption. She talks about the hypocrisy of people like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, and how Nancy Pelosi didn't remove Ilhan Omar from any committees. They haven't done anything for the radicals on the left, but everybody's going after her now. So it's kind of interesting. And then, of course, you got the snakes, the Ben Shapiro's, the people in the neocon kind of establishment, the people that are trying to move away from America first. You can call that Trump or you can call it America first, but they're trying to move away and they're trying to go back towards the more moderate or Mitt Romney, Susan Collins type Republicans. And we don't want that. We don't want that, right? So we're going to continue to be America first and let them know. And I think Georgia did that by electing Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, is she the best person? I don't know. I don't know much about her. Like I said, I don't agree with some of the stuff she says. It's a little out there, but she's spot on when she talks about the hypocrisy and how the people in Washington haven't done anything for decades. It seems to be like a lot of people go to Washington, they get elected, and then they just become part of the swamp. So for the time being, she hasn't been absorbed into the swamp, but who knows? That could happen to her just like it has happened to so many other people. Yes, somebody said smash the like button. Please do that. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate you. Sunny Day said Marjorie Taylor Greene is over the target. She is so over the target. It's not even funny. So I kind of like it. I'm not mad. Let me see if she has another. I thought there was another tweet that I thought was really spot on. Here's one. Bush, Biden, Kerry, Hillary conspired to push the biggest lie of the 21st century, the Iraq war, costing our country trillions of dollars and thousands of lives. Now they're showered with adoration by fake news reporters who used to be anti-war. House of hypocrites. See, they're going to start, watch what'll happen. They're going to start cracking down on her tweets. They're going to try to get rid of her any way that they can, because they don't want that. They don't want anybody in there that's going to continue to shatter their little matrix that they're trying to create. They're just trying to lull us all back to sleep. They think that, well, we got rid of Trump, we're going to vote to convict him, and then all of his MAGA supporters are just going to go away. Like that's just how it's going to work. It's not going to work that way. They think that it's going to work that way. It's not. Someone said her and Matt Gaetz. Yeah, Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is he's a firebrand too. He's flamethrower. I kind of like it. Now it just remains to be seen what they can actually get done. I know she said something about, well, she's introducing articles of impeachment against Biden, but I think that's DOA. That could be just a fundraising opportunity. She can fundraise off of it. Let's be real. Let's just call it what it is. Okay, moving on. We are living in such an inverted reality. I mean, my reality is the real reality, but there's an inverted reality right now. When I read the headline that BLM was being considered or nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, I thought that was straight out of the Babylon Bee. I'm not even kidding. I swear, straight up. I'm like, how do you give, first of all, how do you give an organization a Nobel Peace Prize? And there's just so much material there. Like, what was peaceful about anything that BLM did over the last calendar year? Nothing. What did they do? Destroy lives, take lives, destroy property. I mean, murdered David Dorn on Facebook Live. I mean, that's worthy of a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, down is up is down. You guys know the routine, this inverted reality. this satanic upside down world that they're trying to create. No, actually, bad is good. It's mostly peaceful, right? As they let BLM destroy all the cities in America, Minneapolis, Seattle, Portland, some of it's still going on. It just spiraled into more nonsense and chaos and destruction. It's still happening. A lot of cities haven't been rebuilt. Minneapolis, I think, is starting to be rebuilt, but not before they put in a brand spanking new, sparkling, shining Planned Parenthood. But that's another story. They built that, but the cities are still torn down. The damage from BLM still remains in a lot of these cities. The media said it's mostly peaceful. You're racist if you criticize them. But what happened on January 6th at the Capitol building, those are domestic terrorists. The people that went in and took selfies in Nancy Pelosi's office, those are evil people. They're terrorists. They need to be put on a terrorist list, a no-fly list. But BLM, super peaceful. Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, what does the Nobel Peace Prize even mean if anybody can get it? Literally anybody can get it. They're saying that, Trump incited what happened on the 6th, right? The guy that actually brought peace to the Middle East supposedly fanned the flames of what happened on the 6th. But Maxine Waters and Don Lemon and everybody who has been demonizing one race for the past several years, they're not responsible for what happened. And we're supposed to just accept that as real. It's real because we said it's real, that BLM, they're mostly peaceful. Any destruction is not anyone's fault. It's just, they're just expressing themselves. Systemic racism. But what happened at the Capitol, that's all the Republicans' fault. If you voted for Trump, you voted for that, you supported that. But if you supported BLM, if Kamala Harris funded a lot of those people to get out of jail, that's not bad. That's not her doing that. It's just totally normal. She stands with those peaceful, peace-loving, Nobel Peace Prize nominated protesters. Clown world. The other thing that is clown world that I couldn't believe, inverted reality, 2 masks. You must wear 2 masks. Now I know Fauci said there's no reason to wear 2 masks, but it obviously doesn't hurt if you wear 2 masks. And then I think he also said, this is common sense. Well, if it's common sense, why didn't you tell us to wear masks, 2 masks a year ago? I mean, we don't even have the science of 1 mask working, let alone 2 masks. You have a hard time getting me to put on 1 of them jokers, let alone 2. I know I can't be the only one that feels that way. I literally go everywhere without it. Everywhere. Unless I have to fly, unless I have to go to the airport. And now with Biden, growing government saying you got to wear masks on all federal property, we'll see how that goes. We'll see. DM said, haven't worn one yet. There's just no point. I mean, come on. I mean, the only constant that has been in our country for the last, going back to probably 2015, I don't know, when all this turmoil really started kicking into high gear, the only constant has been the media pumping fear and hate. Fear and hate. Doesn't matter if Trump's in office or Biden's in office. The media pumps fear and hate. They want you to hate white people if you're black. And if you're white, they want you to hate yourself and feel sympathetic and atone for the sins of your forefather. We saw all that last year. But as it relates to this mask, it's all about fear. They're talking about this mutated strain that's supposedly more contagious, is more deadly. Okay, so why is New York and Chicago trying to open up? Why are they giving us all these mixed signals? What's with this clown world? What's with this upside down, inverted reality? Why are they doing this to us? Denise said, my lungs need fresh air, not recycled. It sounds so elementary to say that out loud, doesn't it? Like, you should actually breathe fresh air. You should actually get exercise. But there's still people that think, no, we need to trust the science, trust the experts. They really care about us. They want to see us healthy and thriving. They want us to live our best lives. They really care about our health. And that's why we need to expand this vaccine rollout. We need to amp it up. Ron DeSantis is down there killing people in Florida. They're keep on pushing this fear, these lies, this misinformation. And oh, by the way, if they cared about your health, they would talk about how heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, adult Americans. I think abortion might be ahead of that as far as just deaths. But heart disease, if you really care about the health of Americans, stop putting garbage food commercials on TV. Start talking about health. Start talking about vitamins. Start talking about zinc, echinacea, how to boost your immune system. Get exercise, drink water, get adequate rest, stretch, do some weight training. Come on. They don't care about your health. For anybody that might be watching who, because I know there's some people out there, people that watch that don't agree with anything I say, I just want to say this. Tell me how they care about your health, but they won't mention anything about how you can keep yourself healthy. They want to sell you some kind of something to battle the symptoms of what you're, going through, whether it's diabetes or whatever. But no, they just want to sell you fear, make you afraid, lock you indoors, don't want you to go get exercise while you sit on your couch, eat junk, get depressed, gain a bunch of weight, and then next thing you know, you got high blood pressure, heart disease, can have a stroke. All these things are preventable with a healthy diet, healthy exercise. They don't talk about that. You go to your doctor, they'll just throw some pills at you. You can't make this stuff up. That's the truth. LD said, keep up the good work, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate you for the super chat, brother. God bless you. Redneck Warrior says, hold on. Sugar is just as addictive, if not more addictive than alcohol. And sugar's in everything. This is the thing too. If the government cares so much, why don't they crack down on all these big agricultural industries that put sugar in everything where it doesn't even belong? I mean, you can't even get like a pack of ground beef sometimes without sugar added. They always have added sugar in everything, pasta sauce, you name it. I'm just saying, I don't want to go on a tangent there, but I'm just saying these people don't care about your health, but they're sitting there telling you to put on 2 masks. Mask up, America. It's patriotic to cover your face. No, they're muzzling you. I was thinking about this the other day. Sometimes I go to the beach and I just, reflect. I get some reflection time and I think about like what really irks me. Sometimes I'm just bothered and I don't really know why until I go and reflect. I'm like, why do I feel so like down? And then I think about it. I'm like, well, what did I do today? I went to the store, I went to the post office, I went to the bank. They wouldn't let me go inside because of COVID. It's all these restrictions. It's the fact that we're not living a real life. We're not like, it almost feels like we're just living to die. You don't get to have fun anymore. You don't see people smiling anymore. Do you know how smiles can turn someone's day around? You know how much that can lift someone's spirits if they're not in the best mood? They go to Publix and then the person checking them out has a big grin on their face. They're real chipper. They're happy. You can see the smile on their face. It's infectious. Positivity is infectious, but they've muzzled us. They've hidden our faces. They don't want us to interact. Socially distancing. Like, how can you be social while distancing yourself? Doesn't make sense. But that's what they're doing. They want everyone muzzled up, telling you it's patriotic to wear a mask. Again, upside down world. No, it's patriotic to live your life as you see fit. There's no one size fits all solution. That's what I'm saying. When I think about these kinds of things, I'm like, man, this is the real problem. It's the fear. It's just the control, the conditioning, the repetition. They keep telling you, wear a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask, wear 2 masks, wear 2 masks. To the point where now people just walk around wearing them. They're not anywhere near somebody that they can spread the disease to. They're not anywhere where they can be a danger to someone else, but they're just like obediently putting on the mask. But they're not happy about it. It's subconsciously affecting them. Think about the damage they've done to kids over this. Think about kids that are growing up in a world where they have to sit in bubbles, cover their face, not hang out with their friends, and basically start living in fear from an early age. When I was a kid, I played in the dirt. I got all kinds of dirt. And you know what? I never get sick. Knock on wood. I take care of myself. That's part of the big reason why. But I live a healthy life. It's not healthy to live in fear. If you focus on fear, if you focus on what you don't want, you're going to get exactly that. And what are they telling you? Look it, we got this new strain. There's a brand new strain of COVID. Oh my gosh. Time to freak out and panic. Andrew Cuomo, best governor in America. Ron DeSantis, worst governor. They're calling him Death Santis. Death Santis, really? Florida ranks like 26th out of all 50 states. We rank 26th out of all the states as far as deaths per million. And we have the highest concentration of vulnerable people. We have the most seniors per capita in the country. So how is it possible that we're ranked 26th and we didn't lock down? Well, we did early, but we've been open since May. California, they locked down hard and they're having just as many cases and deaths as states that didn't close down at all. So lockdowns don't work. We know that. We've been over that 100 times. And these masks don't do anything. It's like this. And I've talked about this before. If somebody came to you and said, because like they're saying, any mask will work. Just put on a mask and you'll slow the spread of COVID. Okay. What if someone came to you and said, you know what? I want you to go in that room full of radiation, but you got to put on a jacket. Any of these jackets will work. Would you trust them? Would you trust the person saying any jacket would work? Or would you want to see it? Would you want a proof that that jacket would protect you from radiation? Exactly. So why won't they do that with the mask? Just don't get it, guys. I should have filled this water up. Hold on. 8 masks for Fauci and Biden. Wear them all the time. Oh, wear them for all of us morons. That's the thing, man. We didn't even see Bill Gates with a mask on until like 3 weeks ago. And this is like the high priest. Bill Gates and Fauci are like the high priests of this COVID religion. And it wasn't until a couple weeks ago that Bill Gates actually put a mask on. And people were wondering before that, how come I've never seen Bill Gates with one on? Now you saw him with one on. Coincidence, right? Just saying. Crazy times we're living in. So yeah. The BLM. Hold on, I'm losing my voice is getting a little scratchy, guys. My bad. Let's talk more about the BLM Nobel Peace Prize thing. So it's Black History Month, right? And I thought that Biden was going to heal us all, heal all our racial wounds, bring us together, unite us. That's what he said. He's going to bring us together. He's going to shut down the virus. He said he had no plan. He's going to bring us together and help Black people out by trying to push us to the front of the line to get the vaccine. He wants a 27-year-old Black person to get the vaccine before a 65-year-old white person. Why? Because of his skin color. No other reason. Not because he's more vulnerable, but because that's the name of the game. Identity politics. Joe Biden is going to unify the country by race-based policies. That's going to unify us. That won't drive us apart, guys. I know it sounds crazy, but if you just squint your eyes and tilt your head to the side, you'll recognize that this is actually them trying to bring us together by, dividing us up, putting us in our little groups and giving us group outcomes, race-based policy. And ultimately, wealth confiscation. That's really what the long range plan is. I mean, they won't actually say it, but they want to confiscate wealth. They want some South Africa type situation. That's what they want to do because the word equity has entered the conversation. They shifted from equality to equity. Those are not the same thing. Equality is not equity. Just because things aren't equal doesn't mean that they're not equitable. But because, my skin is black, that means I should get the vaccine before you if you're white. And that's just the way it is because Biden said so. And that's unity and healing and bringing us together. And that's just the way it works. That's what Biden said. That's what they want. That's why they're going to cram down this critical race theory. That's why they want to, this is the thing. They do the most inconsequential things and call it progress for Black people. Oh, let's put Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill. That's progress. That helps out the little kids in the hood. That's what we need to do. And we also need to get Black people vaccinated first, right? We need to put them to the front of the line because the pandemic is racist, just like environmental justice. If we don't do that, climate change, that's racist. We got to do that. What they really mean is everybody's going to have an equal outcome because the government is going to organize society in a way in which people will be elevated artificially to a level of success based solely on the color of their skin. Has nothing to do with individual traits, nothing to do with their skills and abilities, their ambitions, their talents, the decisions they make, nothing. Just you're Black, you get to move up. Doesn't matter if you're Will Smith's kid. It doesn't matter if you are a Vietnam veteran, white guy that's homeless on the street corner asking for food. You have white privilege, sir. Sorry, you don't get the vaccine. You don't get help because you're white. But these Black people over here that probably grew up with more money than you, they need all this stuff. They're going to get it. And you're racist if you disagree. And it's unity by us doing this, by equality of outcome, which I've said time and time and time again will never, ever, ever exist. You'll never have equality of outcome. Unless, of course, your end game is equality of poverty, flatlining everybody, right? All these things that they're trying to do, which they will, unfortunately, probably be successful in doing. Confiscating wealth, demonizing one race, making one race feel like a victim while, using the media to kind of put us at each other's throats because they're only going to show stories of whites and Blacks fighting, white cop shoots Black man, doesn't matter if the Black man had a knife and tried to kill the cop. He's still racist for defending himself. That's just the way it works. That's the new reality that they've created. This whole inverted upside down world that they've created. That's kind of where we are, guys. Redneck Warrior said, Mike, the Nobel Peace Prize award has been a joke since Obama got it. Obama. Yeah, he got it for just being there for, because reasons. He got it. So some of the other people that have been nominated, I guess, Jared Kushner, Stacey Abrams, BLM. I think they'll probably give it to Stacey Abrams because they see it as she helped turn Georgia blue, which the Democrats have been wanting Georgia for the longest time. They got it. I really don't see Brian Kemp being a 2-term governor. It's just not going to happen. So they'll probably win the governorship there in Georgia, and they owe it all to Stacey Abrams if she doesn't run again and get it. So, yeah, I think she'll get the Nobel Peace Prize. That just seems less controversial than BLM. Because come on, man. Come on. Black Lives Matter, the organization getting the Nobel Peace Prize when they've been anything but peaceful. Anything but peaceful. It's all been about division. Good Lord, I can't believe I'm even talking about this stuff. It's just weird. This is weird. What happened to my country? What happened? Just feels like you can't escape this. You cannot escape this reality. It's just encroaching on every aspect of your reality. And it's all politically motivated. It's not about creating a better world and unifying us. And it's about hating one race and artificially propping up another, but mostly hating one race and swinging the pendulum the other way. I get it. America has a past just like every other country, but we don't talk about it. Only America's evil, according to these people. They hate this country. So they just want to cram down this propaganda, cram down this narrative, indoctrinate kids in school, rejecting school choice, rejecting homeschool. So it means your kid has to go through the indoctrination that's going to damage their brains, and then factory farm them, put them on a conveyor belt. Then they grow up to be angry, hate the country, and continue voting for its destruction. There's only so much we can do. When you have a BLM curriculum where they talk about how Black people are hunted and targeted and murdered by police every year, even though the numbers do not show that. There's almost 40 million of us here, 40 million. I think last year, 12 Black people killed by the police. I don't know how many of them were unarmed. I'd have to pull up the FBI crime stats, but anybody that wants to fact check me, go right ahead. If their goal is to hunt us down, they're doing an awful job at it. Awful. What they're actually doing subversively through Planned Parenthood, of course, right? Calling it healthcare, a human right. That's doing way more damage. If we want to talk about that, that's where if you want to ever get, if Black Lives Matter ever wants to get some respect, they need to start in Planned Parenthood right there. Talk about the unborn Black babies that never get to make it to the world. I'm just saying, I could go on and on and on and on. Y'all know. And I haven't had a rant like this in a long time. I feel like, I don't know, for whatever reason, the Trump rallies were like my best outlets for doing that. I don't know why. I just got in the zone. There's something about the energy out there. I just felt good, fresh air, free flowing, no mask. That's all. I just miss those times. I miss them. I miss 2019. How is it that I'm sitting here in 2021? I'm like, man, I really, really miss 2019. 2019 was one of the best years of my life. It was just great. It was like a fine-tuned machine. Things were going great, man. America was winning. We had so much going for us. We still had problems, of course, but we just kept chugging along, chopping wood, being the fighters that we are as a country. And yeah, the next thing you know, who the heck is calling me? No better call me during a live stream. Nah, but we were having such a good year, 2019. People were able to go out. People went to concerts. People went on cruise ships. People had anniversaries, weddings, graduations. All the things were happening in 2019. It was almost like, normal. And then boom, 2020. And then nothing was the same. And here we are in 2021. And now they're like, yeah, actually, you should just put on 2 masks. And also, here's this critical race theory. We're going to put Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill. We're going to give Black people the vaccines and give BLM the Nobel Peace Prize after they just looted and destroyed your business. And you don't get to get upset about it, because if you do, we'll can your page on Facebook. We'll call you a racist and we'll cast you out of our polite society. That's the way we're going to do it. And you don't get to have a secondary opinion about it, because if you do, you're a right-wing radical. I mean, they've gotten so comfortable with this new creepy world that they've created, this 1984 reality where down is up is down, good is bad. It's mostly peaceful, even though it's bloody and brutal and violent. It's mostly peaceful. And the other side, if there's anything that's not peaceful, it's the MAGA terrorists. They're the ones that are destroying the country. You know, that's where we are. That's where we are. They've gotten so comfortable, so confident, and so bold. They're emboldened now. CNN is actively trying to get Fox News taken off the air. I have my problems with Fox News. I haven't watched it since November. I really haven't. I used to watch Tucker religiously. It's the only show I really liked on there. But I just can't support that mainstream media. I can't do it. I can't do it. I haven't watched it since November. But that's my personal choice. I don't advocate for them being taken off air. I know there's a bunch of liberal pages and pages that go against my beliefs. There's a lot of Satanists that have pages on social media. I just don't click on the pages. I just go about my business. Is it really that hard to just mind your own business? Or is it anything I don't like needs to be destroyed and everything I do like should be a human right and white people should pay for it? Is that where we are as a country? Like, how does that compute in someone's head? It's so narcissistic. It's so just like the world needs to revolve around me. I hate these things, so I want the government to make it go away. And the things I love, they should be given to me. I'm owed all these things because I exist. Everything's a human right. Everything I want in life should be a human right. I shouldn't have to work for it. I should just be given it. What happened, man? We're going through some times right now, some tough times. What's that? How's that saying go? Like, strong times create weak men create hard times create strong men, something like that. Yeah. We were basically going through a strong time. They've, neutered us. I guess you could say that. They're cramming down critical race theory. They are asserting multiple contradictory positions. They're saying Kamala Harris is the first ever female vice president, but also gender is a social construct, but also men are sexist and everybody should be a feminist, but gender is a social construct. There's a million genders. All the things, they're just mixing it all up. And what's worse, because I can sift through it. You can sift through it. Most people, even though it might take them some time to figure out what they're doing, they can sift through it and like find their ground, get grounded in reality. But the problem is they're teaching kids this. Kids are growing up wearing masks, learning about critical race theory and how America sucks and it's evil and it's terrible. And also how there's no genders and you can take puberty blockers. There's all these crazy things. And I know they're not happening on a grand scale, but they're happening in America. A lot of the stuff is happening in California, which has just been a petri dish for all of these weird ideas for decades. Ever since Democrats have had a supermajority, they've tried everything from universal basic income to healthcare for all, universal, whatever it's called, Medicare for all at the state level, sanctuary cities, all these things. And look at California. That's our largest state. People can't get out of that state fast enough. And that's their blueprint for the whole country. You got Joe Biden, you got Susan Rice, you got these people in his cabinet using these catch-all phrases like equity, systemic racism, so they can justify their whole of government approach to this equity thing, this equality of outcome that's going to be an absolute disaster while they continue to destroy jobs. And, we'll see if we end up in war with Iraq or Syria. We'll see which nation we topple next. We'll see. It's been a while. We enjoyed 4 years of no wars, at least. Thank God. No wars. In fact, you had people signing peace treaties in the Middle East. Both parties supposedly were against war. Well, not so much the Republicans. Democrats in the media, they were against war, but until, Trump was in there. And now when Biden inevitably starts some kind of war or sends more troops back into Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever, it'll be praised. It's almost like a switch was flipped on. It was a couple days after his inauguration that there were two suicide bombers in Iraq, in Baghdad, I think. And now you got this stuff going on in Myanmar. I can't pronounce it, man. I'm sorry. I can't. I tried. You got that. You've got North Korea ramping up. You got a bunch of stuff happening on the global stage. Geopolitics is going to be dicey. That's to put it mildly. Because he's pretty much just installed Obama's cabinet right back in. The status quo has returned. Status quo Joe at the helm. Signed 40 plus executive orders. But, you know, Trump was the dictator, even though Biden is ruling by fiat right now. It's actually all Trump's fault. But you know what? People are going to see this. Like I've been telling you guys, the blessing in disguise is it's all on them. There's nobody to blame. They can use Marjorie Taylor Greene if they want. She doesn't have any power. They can try to use whatever straw man, boogeyman that they want to try to blame whatever goes wrong on them. But we all know it's them. It's them. They have 100% control of the government right now. So when the gas prices go up, guess what? Get to say, I told you so to all the people that just had raging Trump derangement syndrome and they just voted for Biden, not knowing anything about his policies. They just know they hated Trump. Okay, did you hate Trump so much that you want to pay $6 at the pump? You hate him so much that you want to drain your bank account. You want to put yourself in a financial strain because you don't like somebody who doesn't even know you exist. And you think it makes sense? It doesn't. Makes zero sense. Oh, Maria said, I'm in Southern California and there's a petition to remove Gavin Newsom. Yeah. So that's a thing right now. That's gaining a lot of traction. I think they have 1.4 million signatures, if I'm not mistaken. I think. Somebody tell me how many they have or how many they need. But I know that they got well over 1 million signatures. So they're getting close to recalling Gavin Newsom. That's a huge, huge grassroots thing. Grassroots movement and effort. I'm sure it's bipartisan. I'm sure it's liberals and conservatives in California that saw their state go to hell under a Democrat supermajority. There's no Republicans to blame for what's going on in California. You can't blame Trump for the pre-existing conditions in California. It's been problematic. And all they did was make it worse in places like San Francisco, where they had to, get a tech giant or some, software engineer to come up with an app so you can find where the poop is on your street in your city. That's supposed to be a model city in our largest state, California, San Francisco. People got to dodge and step over human fecal matter landmines because the city is so incompetent. All the while, taxes are going up. I believe they have the highest taxes in the nation. So how do they have the highest taxes in the nation? The worst schools in the nation. Some of the most, I don't know if it's the most homeless people, but they have a lot of homeless people there. Highest gas tax, highest property tax, highest income tax, highest sales tax. Where's the money going? If all we need to do is grow government and let them organize society, people should be thriving in California, not leaving. Do you think I could just up and move to California right now? No. I would be poor instantly just off of the taxes. And yet the situations there are deteriorating under Democrat leadership, under Gavin Newsom, bankrupting businesses with this pandemic, with the lockdowns. And then they want you to believe it's not politicized. So you have a movement of people that came together. They got over 1 million signatures and they're going to recall this governor. And I think it's a beautiful thing. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens. I feel like I'm still a little bit discouraged. I feel like the system's just so rigged. They'll find a way around it. They'll find a way around it. That might be the one time where they're like, let's do a signature match. You guys got over 1 million signatures. We need to do a signature match. Let's audit this. They'll find some way around. I'm like, oh, now you guys want to audit signatures. Funny how that works. But seriously, though, California is a shining example of how when you grow the government, you shrink the citizen, and it shows because the middle class cannot really thrive there. You've got so much crime, so much poverty. They've made things worse by banning plastic. They're telling all these grocery stores, they can't use plastic bags. That's like eco-fascism or something. Like, you can't use plastic bags, but we're passing out hypodermic needles to the junkies, and we're just going to let them shoot up heroin, just bang the needles right there in the street. Where do those needles end up? Where does that plastic end up? Right there in the ocean. Right there in the ocean. There's no plastic bags, which apparently that's why there's more poop on the street. I don't know. I don't know who I heard that from, but apparently that's what homeless people were doing, pooping in bags. They don't have plastic bags to do that anymore, so they're doing it on the street. And it's so bad that they had to develop an app so that you can find where it's at in your city. That's not a good thing. And that's just California. I mean, it's the entire West Coast. Seattle and Portland, those are not safe cities to live in. Just saying, Democrats, supermajority. Not to make it completely like Democrat, Republican, because Republicans, I got problems with them too. I think they want to be in the minority. I think they like this. I think the Republicans enjoy this situation they're in because they don't have to do anything. They just got to sit there, go along to get along, grandstand every now and then, filibuster, try to make it seem like they're fighting for us. Lindsey Graham, lip service. I'm going to look into Section 230. I'm going to look into it. I am now more than ever before invested in looking into Section 230, knowing damn well he's not going to do anything. Nothing. Because what has he done up until this point? Nothing. The problems with Section 230 didn't just pop up overnight. So why are you pretending like you care now? That's Lindsey Graham. That's Mitch McConnell. That's Mitt Romney. Why hasn't he switched parties? What about Mitt Romney is conservative? Exactly. What? Tell me. Anything? Anything. Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski. I can keep going. The rhinos, the neocons, the warmongers, the establishment Republicans that are bought and paid for by big tech, big banks, big pharma, Wall Street. They're funneling money into both sides of the political aisle, and it shows. It shows. So both sides are actually to blame. One side doesn't hide what they want to do. They'll put it right in your face. They have the media to echo it and parrot it. They have Hollywood calling for it. They have everybody shouting through a megaphone, lecturing you on why you're terrible for wanting to open your business and live free with the government out of your business. And then you got the other side that claims to represent you, fight for the little guy, right? They claim to. We know that's not real. And they're just controlled opposition. They're just happy to go along, to get along. They'll just roll over and take the L's. They're the minority now in the Senate. They don't have any power, but they're happy because, hey, at least I'm still here. At least I still get my little kickbacks. Let me propose some bills. Let me throw out some crumbs. Let me propose $1,400. Let's bicker with the Democrats and pretend like we're actually fighting for the people who've been put out of work over this virus. Let's just continue kicking the can down the road while we vote ourselves a raise, vote ourselves out of Obamacare. Right? We haven't missed a single day of work since the pandemic started. Some of us getting caught without masks, some of us dining out, flying out of the country, hypocrites. Both sides of the aisle, just saying. It's the truth. I think it's important to keep that going, keep that message going right now and into the future. Honestly, it's both sides. I know there's still people that are like, it's the Democrats, Democrats, Democrats all day. Yeah, they deserve criticism for what they've done in states like California, New York, Chicago, the places where they govern and they can pretty much rule with an iron fist. Yeah, criticize them. But the GOP has done what? Has done what? Trump was that party. The America First, get stuff done. He got so much done in one term. He cast a huge shadow. There's no excuse for any president to not get anything done. Oh, it's the other side. They had a majority. They stopped it. They blocked a lot of legislation, blah, blah. No. Now you see what it takes to actually get stuff done. And that Trump got a lot done in his first term. I mean, he could have did a lot more, but he did a lot in his first term. You got politicians that haven't done anything. 50 years in Congress, have done nothing. I'm just saying, guys. Sally said, can only trust the Lord. I'm going to put that on the screen. Can only trust the Lord. Amen to that. You can only trust the Lord. That's who I put my trust in, my faith in. He's merciful. He's forgiving. He will see us through. He will not forsake his children. No matter what these politicians do, these wicked people, the people being controlled by the enemy that wants to invert reality, all this stuff happening. It's just opening people's eyes. That's why I said it's kind of a blessing in disguise. I mean, if Trump's not in the White House, okay, well, at least we can shine all of the spotlight on the people who should have had that spotlight on them all along. Watch gas prices go up. You cannot retroactively blame Trump for the gas prices that are going to inevitably go up. I say give it till about right around 4th of July. That's when gas prices normally spike anyway in the summer. Watch them spike astronomically. You're going to see it go up more than it was the past 4 years. Things are going to get tight while they continue to put more people out of work. While they continue to not follow the science, follow the facts, the statistics on COVID, on critical race theory, on gender. They don't follow the science for that. They tell you you don't. Clown world. I guess I could just continue talking in circles. I've said so much already. Right? They want to impeach this president. He's not even in office anymore. What are those priorities? Open up America. Good Lord. It's 2021. It's February. Open up. Instead of bickering back and forth about how many crumbs we're going to get with our stimulus. If you think a stimulus check can make a big difference in someone's life, imagine what a job could do. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I guess I'll read a few comments and then I'll wrap up. I said everything I need to say. Yeah, there's other stuff I could have covered too. I know that Lincoln Project thing was pretty wild, but not surprising. They get away with whatever they want. If that were a Republican, if that were a conservative, if that were a MAGA supporter, if that were anybody to the right of Nancy Pelosi, that would still be talked about in the news. Instead, they're going to sweep it under the rug. They put out a little statement condemning it, but that's it. They're going to move on. They just sweep everything under the rug. You can get away with everything. If you're on the left, you get away with everything. Everything. Andrew Gillum can slither back into the spotlight. Right? They just sweep it under the rug. Oh, he struggled with, drug abuse and, alcohol after losing the election. It was hard on him. You're just going to completely just speed past the meth-fueled orgy in the hotel. Huh? Okay. All right. I see what you're doing. Jeffrey Toobin, the guy that, had a little fun on camera on a Zoom call in front of his coworkers. Did he get fired? Sure, but watch him be back. He'll be back. They kind of gloss it over. They just kind of let it just go. Or they get caught, with their disgusting pedophile, predatory behaviors. They just kind of get swept under the rug. It's just kind of coincidental that it's all kind of bubbling back up to the surface under Biden. Just saying. It's kind of interesting. I'm not trying to speculate. I'm just saying the timing of all that stuff is interesting. And now the person who I guess was a colleague of an attorney that was representing Hunter Biden with his little tax fiasco, that person just got a high-level position in the DOJ. No conflict of interest there, right? I'm sure Hunter's thrilled about that one. My dad's the president. That means, man, I'm good. Get out of jail free card. I don't even have to go to jail. But we'll lock a bunch of other people up if they get caught with crack and whatever else was on that laptop. I'm just saying, you can't get away with it, but the establishment can. Wall Street, oh, we're so upset. These white supremacists and Russians in this Reddit group, these Wall Street bets, they're manipulating the stock market. We need regulation. The hypocrisy, y'all. The utter hypocrisy. Anyway, man, I hate that these comments are really slow. It really is bothering me. Because I know they're rolling in faster than this. And the comments I actually will read, the ones that are coming in right now, are from like 5 minutes ago, which is fine. I can read them. It's just, it's something that I already covered. If there's anything I've left out, and of course there's always something I could, speak on. What did I leave out today before I wrap up? I thought this was longer than an hour already. We just crossed the 1 hour mark, but I can go for another 10 minutes or something. Did I get everything? I think I got everything. Talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I guess I could circle back on whatever else. Just let me know and I'll circle back. I talked about the 2 masks thing. I talked about the critical race theory, how they're going to use that. And they're casting wide nets with like systemic racism so they can, flex that government muscle to confiscate wealth and disrupt the financial well-being of a lot of people, take things from people that, worked hard and give it to people who haven't earned it. It's like, this is your outcome because you're black. You get this because you're black. Nothing more insulting. Lisa said, Mike, I'm awake and keep praying because Trump will be our president. I don't want to go there right now. I really don't. Lisa said, why military is still in DC? I don't know, because of what happened on the 6th. I think that probably has something to do with it. I really think that's it. Because the country's so unstable right now. I mean, they know that they're criminals. They know what they've done. Come on. Someone said Uncle Ted for president. Who's Uncle Ted? Someone said believing in God is a mental illness. Okay, well, you believe in something. JBS, thank you for the super chat. JBS says, Black Lives Matter teams with Democrat in attempt to expel over 100 Republicans from Congress. Western Journal. You see, what the Republicans just kind of kicking their feet up, just chilling, pretty much not wanting to do anything. They think that they're going to be able to just fly under the radar, but no, they want to expel and purge them from their positions. They think that they won't be a casualty, by condemning Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, she doesn't represent the party. She's a cancer, says Mitch McConnell. That was a horrible impression of him, but you get it. They're going to be casualties too. They want to take Fox News off the air. They want OAN gone. They want Newsmax gone. They want Ron Paul's channel gone. They want Tim Pool gone. They want Ben Shapiro gone. They want everybody who doesn't toe the line gone. They want to eliminate your voice. They don't want you to speak freely. They don't want you to tell the truth. They don't want you to oppose their wicked agenda. They don't want you to call out their hypocrisy, expose their corruption. They don't want it. Because the truth will shatter the deception. It's all deception. The media, the hypocritical media. They're worried about Fox News. Who went on TV and said, the biggest problem that we have in this country are white men, or police are hunting down black people? Then next thing you know, police officers are getting shot and killed. I get it. Police brutality is a problem. It is. It is. But is the correct response to just murder cops? Is that what we're doing? Does that make any sense? Do you feel good about it? Like, the best way to right the wrong is to destroy the other side. Let's hurt them. Let's disrupt their lives. Let's threaten their families. Let's take their lives. It's such a nihilistic, I can't stand it, man. The media is so dishonest, so corrupt, so evil. They lie every day. They traffic in division. They traffic in fear and hate. Fear and hate. Fear and hate. They want you to fear the pandemic and hate the other person because of the color of their skin. That's what they want. That's what they do. That's what sells. That's what gets them clicks. They need the appropriate buzzwords and headlines because that gets them clicks on social media. That's what they want. They want to make money, shape public opinion, fuel anger, rage, and fear that weakens your immune system. And then they go to commercial break and sell you a Big Mac. Show you how you can get a quick fix if you just take this pill. That's what they do. That is the reality. That is the reality. But we're going to pierce through this matrix. We're going to continue doing this. I'm going to stay on YouTube as long as I can be here. They've actually been, besides completely shadow banning this channel, they've actually been pretty decent. They've let me monetize pretty much all my videos. I've only had one or two removed, which is one too many. But I mean, at least I'm still here. Zuckerberg, he wasn't so nice. He got tired of my wrong think. He got tired of it. He shut me down on Instagram because I misbehaved on Facebook. He's like, you don't get Instagram either. Just a monopolistic, just takeover of the internet. Oh, you're not allowed to set up your own social media platform. When somebody actually learned to code and set up their own social media platform, then Amazon shut them down. They don't want an alternative sphere. They don't want a parallel infrastructure to theirs. It's toe the line or we're going to steamroll over you. They'll tell you, oh yeah, just go over there. If you don't like it, if you can't follow the guidelines, go over there. Then as soon as you go over there, they're like, that's disinformation. That's dangerous. It's hate speech. We have to destroy it. Which ultimately drives people underground. If they don't have a platform to speak their mind, you drive them underground. They become more radicalized. Their ideas don't go away. What they believe in doesn't disappear just because you shut them up on the internet. They're going to meet offline and they're going to bubble up somewhere else. I've been saying this for a long time. What's the point of censoring people? If it's all just crazy misinformation, conspiracy theories, let it be known. Sunshine is the best disinfectant, right? If it's all fake news and it's disinformation, why not let it be exposed and then you can take it down? Can't you just bring down the whole house of cards if you just expose it? Instead, they're like, no, we need to take that down. That needs to be removed. We need to slap one of our fact-checking disclaimers on it. We need to run interference and distract you from what they just said. This is partly false. What they really mean is it's mostly true, but they want you to focus on what's false or supposedly false about it. So it's big tech, it's big media, it's big government, it's Wall Street and big banks, big pharma, military industrial complex. That's what we're up against. That's all right, though. This is man's kingdom. That's it. Man's kingdom. God has the final say. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to wrap up here. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Shout out to all of the super chatters. Shout out to all of the moderators. I know that I have not been consistently live. I'm working on that. There's a lot of things going on in my life, but no excuse. I will work on some kind of routine where I'm live on a certain day at a certain time. And I'm actually trying to figure out, I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to do some kind of call-in show where you guys can just call in. I'll talk for like 30 minutes or whatever. And then I'll let people call in and we can just chop it up. We can talk whatever. Somebody disagrees. I guess it's an on-the-spot debate, hopefully a civil discussion, but I think it'll be productive. I just want to have conversations with people. If we can't meet in person, if we have to be muzzled in person, you can't see someone smile, you got to hear a muffled voice because they're wearing 2 face masks. The least we can do is meet online, I guess, for now. I mean, that's just kind of the reality. We're just going to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And that's the name of the game. That's what we do. We don't pack it in. We don't give up. We just continue fighting. We find strategic ways around their roadblocks, their censorship, their totalitarian ways. We just, we're resilient. We're Americans. That's the American spirit. That's the America I grew up loving. It's the only country I've ever known. I will never leave this country. I will never condemn this country. This is the greatest country on earth. I wouldn't live anywhere else. But unfortunately, yeah, there's a whole bunch of kids that are growing up thinking that this place sucks. It needs to be more like this country. Why can't we be more like Sweden? Bunch of people hate this country. Don't even know why. Take it all for granted. I'm done doing that, man. I spent my time. I've taken too many things for granted. We all do. It's human nature. We take our health for granted, our vision, all of our fingers, the fact that we can walk, some of us, right? We take things for granted. Don't know what you got until it's gone. So that's what I'm trying to do this year. That's my goal. I'm just trying to grow, evolve, conversate with people, level up, speak truth to power, and keep the faith. So anyways, God bless you guys. Appreciate everyone that tuned in. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Hit the thumbs up, bell notification, all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter, Gab. I wanted to say Parler, but it's not back. Telegram. I have a Telegram channel now. I'm still trying to figure out how that works, but I think I can just post things on there just like I would YouTube. It's almost kind of like a Facebook replacement. At least that's kind of how it feels. I'm also on Clout Hub. That one's really tough to I can't even really post videos there. I'm also on Rumble and I'm on MeWe. I'm on all these things. Just search Mike Nificent or Mike Nificent 813 and I should pop up. Also subscribe to my backup channel. The link is in the description. If anything happens to this channel, you'll want to go to my backup channel. So please, it's the top link in the description. It says backup channel right there. So sub to my backup channel. I might even start putting a few short videos on there just to incentivize people to subscribe. I mean, just do it. Just if you support me here, please support me there. Sub to the backup channel because I would really appreciate it. And if there's somebody you think I should collaborate with or you want me to collaborate with, send them my way. Send me their contact info. I got somebody coming on tomorrow. Hopefully, I just reached out to him. So I'll be back tomorrow. Just so you guys know, I'll be back tomorrow for another live stream around, what time is it? 1:30? Yeah, it'd actually be 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow I'll have a live stream with a special guest. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully he gets back to me. I think it's a go. But yeah, that's it, guys. God bless you. I'll catch you in the next stream.